Hi there. My name is Suze, and I work with women to help them find balance between their internal masculine and feminine energies so that they can have lives that feel really emotionally fulfilling, full of love and connection. So, I just finished doing a video about why masculine energy needs feminine energy. And so clearly, I have to follow that up with the opposite, right? Feminine energy needs masculine energy. And this is a conversation that can cause some triggering with women who identify as being feminines. And so might be an interesting conversation today. I also notice that a lot of women in the feminine space of really recognizing their feminine energy and trying to grow themselves with their feminine energy and on a really soul path of soul ascension, soul development, spiritual growth, spirituality. There is an awareness right now, particularly this year. There is a huge awareness around inner masculine wounds and inner masculine energy that needs to be healed and integrated in a healthy way. So, this is a conversation that I'm not going to get into all of it today because I don't want this video to be crazy long. I like to just have my videos be little bite-sized videos to get you thinking and to plant seeds, and I grow and nurture those seeds as I go through these videos. So for the conversation today, I'm just going to start at the very basics because a couple of reasons. I've noticed that in the collective, in our world right now, people who are talking about relationships and relationship healing, relationship advice, the danger is I see we're trying to move away from codependency. And I said this in my other video with the masculine energy. We're trying to move away from codependency in our relationships, and we are trying to move into an interdependent space. We're also trying to work on the self, of moving the self into a self-sovereign space so that I am whole and complete on my own and I can offer to the world something so much greater because I already know I'm whole and complete and sovereign on my own. And I recognize we are trying to move into that space as a collective. However, the danger is, because this is what humans tend to do, we swing the pendulum to extremes. And so the challenge for the human is, how can I find a balance in the middle? It's not about extremes. So when you maybe have a past of being in a codependent space, of looking externally for validation or thinking you need things outside of yourself to feel happy or to feel whole and complete. Once you're working away from the codependent space and trying to move into a more sovereign space, the danger is then we can go into the space of ultra sovereign, let's just say, and you become hyper independent, hyper self-reliant, and in this mindset of, well, I don't need anyone. And this is a very dangerous place to be. And I see a lot of women moving in that direction, and it's causing a lot of issues. So I want to speak to that first of all, and then I will continue this conversation moving more into healing these inner masculine wounds. But I think we can't even get there until we do some work around mindsets with women around being sovereign and what does that mean as a woman. Because in our modern day society, we've come a long way as women, and this is good, and I'm very happy to see this. We've come a long way of recognizing I can make my own money. I can support myself. I can create my own stability and safety within myself. And that is so good. And it's so good for our collective, and it's healthy. However, don't go too far into that direction, whereas then I don't need a man. Because you do. And it isn't needing. I don't like that word needing. I kind of, I'm on the fence with that word, but I'm struggling to find the right word energetically. You do need a man for connection. If you really want that deep emotional fulfillment, you do need a man to be in that masculine, feminine relationship of interdependence, not codependence. You do need that. And the human aspect of who we are can't be ignored just for the soul journey. Both the soul and the human must be acknowledged, and the human needs human connection. The human needs emotional intimacy. The human needs that emotional human connection point. So, all of that to say, the feminine energy does need that masculine component in relationship. And that's where it's more obvious with the masculine energy, right? The man being the masculine, the woman being the feminine, if that's the polarity roles that you prefer to fall in. And if you're listening to me, you probably do, because that's that's the roles I fall into. However, it goes even deeper than just the relationship. It's easier for us to look outside of ourselves and look at relationship because you know you're a woman with a feminine core if at the end of the day you know you're really motivated and driven by the idea of connection. If you really feel a deep fulfillment with connection, that is what makes a person a feminine, is you're really driven by wanting to feel connected. So if that's you and you're in that feminine space of really desiring deep, meaningful connection and emotional fulfillment in your life, you are definitely the one identifying with a feminine core. So you are going to need to have that. You are going to want to be in relationship with a masculine man. But it starts inside you first. And that's where a lot of us don't get it right away. We think that we need the masculine aspect outside of ourselves, and you don't. You need it internally, but you need it in the healthy way. And again, we're not going so far into this to then push away men. And that right there brings me to another point. If you're in a space of pushing away men and saying, I don't need men, then there's a part of you inside of you that is rejecting masculine energy inside of yourself and labeling it as bad. I've spoken about this in my other videos with myself and my own journey. You know, I came from a background where I grew up without my mother. So I was missing that feminine aspect, a lot of emotional neglect there. I'm not going to get into that yet. So I grew up with my father, who was a severely wounded masculine figure. So I then grew up to be a woman in her wounded masculine energy, right? So that meant I was always I was feeling like I had to try to make things happen. I had to force my way, do, think, analyze, plan, all of that masculine energy. I thought I had to be in that space to make life happen, to make myself happy, to make myself find success, to make myself achieve the things that I thought I wanted. I thought I had to achieve it in this really hardcore masculine way. And I finally got to this place where I completely burnt myself out and my body was literally giving up on me. And it woke me up to realize something's not right and I need to start changing how I'm doing things. And so I started coming into my feminine core, allowing my feminine to come out. And I felt such deep relief as I allowed myself to go into the feminine space because that is who I truly feel I am, is a more feminine. However, I then quickly realized how I was then pointing a finger at my masculine energy or anything in the masculine structure and labeling it as bad because I was in fear of going back into that unhealthy masculine structure. So then I had to go into my inner masculine and start looking at that. Why am I pushing away this masculine aspect? It is actually needed. Masculine energy can actually be very healthy, and women do need to learn how to use it to their good. Because without masculine energy, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. I'm using masculine energy to output energy, to speak my truth, to be seen in the world in the space of YouTube. It's all masculine energy. Masculine energy is working, going to work, being seen at work, talking, communicating, parenting. This is all masculine energy, so clearly it is needed. You can't deny it or avoid it or say it's bad. No, it's not. We need both. The feminine needs the masculine. Going deeper into the heart space, going deeper into the really roots of feminine energy, the deep, deep, deep feminine energy really does need masculine energy because it needs the safety, the structure, the holding of masculine energy. When we talk about holding space, that is masculine energy, healthy masculine energy. So we got to get out of this mindset that so many women are in around, I don't need men, or masculine energy is bad. It's not that. It's how are we using masculine energy with ourselves? Are we using it to do and create the healthy things that we actually do want? Like showing up and communicating and working and being seen and having a sense of purpose. That is the core of masculine. Purpose. I see my life's purpose and I'm going in that direction of embodying my soul mission, my purpose for being here. That is masculine motivation, masculine core energy. And I'm using that right now. So the more we go down this path of I don't need men and I'm so self-reliant, and then we're wondering why men don't want to be with us. Not me personally, I am in a relationship with a man. Don't misunderstand me here. But as a feminine collective, now you've gone back into the unhealthy masculine because you've walked away from connection. It's almost like a paradox right there in and of itself. You've rejected masculine energy so much and gone into this space of such self-reliancy that you've gone back into unhealthy, toxic masculinity, if you will, wounded masculinity, because you're labeling it all as bad and you're avoiding connection with it. And anytime you're avoiding connection, you have completely left your feminine energy, because feminine energy is entirely about connection and desires connection above all else. So now you've gone back into wounded masculine energy. It's like a paradox. So if you really are a woman with a feminine core, and when you're really vulnerable and honest with yourself and you recognize, I really want to have deep emotional fulfillment in my life, I want to have deep meaningful connection, then you're going to have to humble yourself and recognize you do need masculine energy. And it starts with you healing your own wounded aspects of your wounded masculine, learning how to embrace your masculinity in a healthy way, learning how to use your masculine energy in a healthy way, and then allowing men to be in their masculine. And this is the conversation that I'm trying to ultimately go in, is recognizing how women are sabotaging the very thing that they want in relationship because they don't understand healthy masculine energy, and we have built up so much resistance to it. That's the real conversation I'm trying to get to on this channel. We're sabotaging the very thing we want and then complaining about it. And that's the reality of what's happening in relationships. So after dropping that on everyone, I'm going to leave it there. If you found value in this, if there's something inside of you that's pinging on my message and recognizing some truth in this message, I would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe to my channel so that I can be more seen, more visible out in the world, and this message can get out to other people who need to see it and who are ready to receive it at this time. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye now.